Hi, I'm the Spiceman, and you're watching the SpiceManBlog on YouTube. You can also follow me on SpiceManBlog on blogspot.com and learn a little bit more about spices and herbs and how they make your meals taste better and make your life a little bit healthier. Today I want to talk about what's the connection between graduation and bay leaves. It's the graduation season, and a lot of people are graduating, and you probably never thought that there's a connection to the two. Well, let me answer the question. It's simple. It's called the baccalaureate. So to better understand the connection, let's look back in history. Bay leaves, they're also known as the sweet laurel, are one of the world's most commonly used herbs, and its history dates way back to the legends of Greek god Apollo, the god of prophecy and healing and poetry. Apollo was madly in love with Daphne, and she didn't want any part of his affections, and so she actually turned herself into a bay tree to hide from him. When he found out, he declared the bay tree sacred and wore a wreath of these leaves woven into his wreath on his head in her memory. It's in the same manner that crowns of bay leaves were given to victors in battles and sporting events in ancient Greece and Rome. Later, poets received the similar honor as a poet laureate, and then scholars received their honors in a ceremony called the baccalaureate. So that's the connection. That's how this works. A little bit more about bay leaves. Turkish and Greek bay leaves are known as the best in the world. They're grown in the wild, in the mountains. The winds blow across the Mediterranean, Aegean seas, making these things perfect. As it blows through the Mediterranean, it picks up moisture and drops it on the trees and helps the leaves grow and mature. By the end of the summer, the winds change direction, and they begin to come from the south across the Aegean. And before it reaches the growing area, it passes over mountain valleys and ridges, and this warm, dry air helps dry the leaf, but retain its great flavor. And this is the flavor that we're most used to when we think of a bay leaf, particularly when we eat Italian food and things like that. But because of these dry conditions, the winds create a real high risk for fire, and so that risk can affect the picking season, the size of the harvest, and sometimes the size of the leaf. So they're not always super uniform, and that's okay. That's one of the marks of a great leaf. Now, you can see other forms of bay leaf occasionally in grocery stores, more recently in kind of these culinary areas. They're very expensive, and they're actually a California bay laurel, not really the same, maybe from the same family, but not quite the same leaf. And they're identified because they're real bright green. They have a waxy coating, very uniform in size. I mean, almost like they were stamped out. They look beautiful, but look, cooks beware. If you try to use these on your dish, they have a very strong, astringent flavor and very volatile in oil, and they can overpower your dish. I've heard of people that were used to using Mediterranean leaves put these in the same quantity and completely ruin their sauces before dinner and had to take their friends and family out to dinner. So you don't want to do that. Be very cautious when you use these. I wouldn't suggest using more than about a half a leaf in any sauce or dish, if that. The leaf is probably best used to garnish a dish because of their beauty. They're very beautiful in color and size. My preference, though, is the traditional Mediterranean, the European leaf, hands down. They're grown in other regions, India, Indonesia, kind of around in different places of the world, but hands down that Mediterranean, Turkish is probably renowned as the best, and Greek leaves. Now, the flavor of these leaves are perfect for adding to like roasts, a roast pork or chicken, pot roasts, even turkey and ham. You can use 2 or 3 leaves. Be sure to remove before eating. Now, some people think that they're poisonous. They're not poisonous, but they are a little bitter if you bite into it. So someone doesn't know what they're eating if they bite into that leaf will get a very unpleasant kind of flavor because of its concentration and the fact that it's crisp and crispy. So be sure to take them out. They're perfect for spaghetti sauces and soups. Oh my goodness, when God created bay leaf, he created spaghetti sauce. It's the perfect marriage. It's like basil and tomato. There's just perfect mix, combination of flavor profiles there. Now, part of my goal in this blog is to create the connection between using more spices and herbs in your food to having a healthier diet and having more enjoyable food. And bay leaf is very important in this. So people that are in diabetes or high blood pressure that are wanting to reduce their salt intake, look for recipes that stew things and use a bay leaf in that. And the bay leaf really will help replace the salt in a lot of these dishes. A little known fact, but a great trick. So, hey, look, the more you use herbs and spices to prepare your meals, the healthier you're going to be. I'm the Spice Man. This is the Spice Man blog. Thanks for checking in.